3-point conversion. Clyde, in the game, it seemed like you all threw the ball more in the beginning. You didn't run the ball. Was that more of the plan, or was it just towards the game they were doing something to stop you all from running?
Just the looks that they were giving us, we were able to, we felt like we were able to get some pass plays in. Some things were open. They were just, being a dominant front seven like we thought they were, and that's what they showed.
And just a follow up, you got going later on in the game. In the second half, they start off running. What kind of deterred you from running the ball more when it seemed like you all caught a rhythm running the ball in the third quarter?
That's just what the game plan stood for. I was whenever my number's called, I go out, and every time I had a ball in my hand, I try to perform to the best of my ability. But if my number's not called, then I execute the things that's what's asked of me. If I have to, protect and pass pro, if that's what's called, then I execute what's called. So that's something out of my range of answering.
Thank you.
The next question will go with Chris Ryan from WGIR.
Hey, did you find yourselves kind of blindsided by the result in this one? It seemed like obviously there's a lot of confidence going into the game as defending champs and everything. Were you surprised by how things played out?
No, I mean, it was a close game last time. We just kind of got a good jump out on them in the first quarter, but we all knew that. I mean, they're in the Super Bowl for a reason, so they were the other best team in the league, and they showed it tonight.
How about how Patrick competed in this game? He seemed to hang in so many times, try to get the ball out, and he showed obviously who he is in this game.
He's a warrior, and that's who I'd rather fight on side of, a guy who's gonna be there in and out and try to deliver the ball and stay in there and unfortunately he took some hits that obviously we don't like, but he still was trying to stay in as long as he possibly could and deliver the ball. So all props to Pat.
Thanks.
Next question will go with Samuel Rodriguez Jr.
All right, how are we doing today?
Doing good.
All right, so I was wondering, you guys struggle a little bit with the run game. Is there anything now that you wish you knew you could have done before to get the run game going better?
I wouldn't say we struggled in the run game. I would say, every time the ball was called to run the ball, 90% of the time it was positive yards. So, I don't want to say we struggled in the run game. I would just say that we need to execute some things a little better, and I'm sure that I'm positive that next year that first game of the season, you'll see everything, all those things that showed up this game, all those kinks to be worked out.
Thank you.
Next question will go with Austin P. with Fully Loaded Podcast.
Hey, Clyde. Tough loss tonight for sure. But what do you take away from, your rookie season and then getting to the Super Bowl, even though it didn't end the way you wanted it to? What is something that you take away from this game?
You was never as good as you think you are, and that's just what it is. And not saying that we were cocky, but just the things just throughout the year, sometimes it takes a humbling experience, and the pain that I feel right now, I promise you I'll be back in another Super Bowl because I feel like I laid it all out on the line, and I showed that. So, mark my words, I'll be back.
Next question we will go with Henrique Bulio, Pro Football Brazil.
Clyde, hi. Enrique from Pro Football Brazil. Congrats on the great run this season. What do you feel guys could have done better to contain the aggressiveness from Tampa's defense today?
It was pretty much they showed how dominant their front seven was. Being able to stop them from getting to Pat so he could deliver the ball was something that we just couldn't do. Chipping the edge, anything. They had some schemes brought in, some things that were new, some games, some things that we couldn't get back to. Having Shaq, pretty much come all the way backside, outside the center, on the opposite side of the center, like little things here and there that I promise that that will work out. Some things that's going to hunt me, for the next six months until I'm able to put these pads on again and figure out and study and do everything that I possibly can to make sure this never happens again.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Last question will go with Jake Malik with Sideline Sports.
Hey, Clyde. Again, tough loss. I spoke to some of your teammates earlier. The offense didn't get clicking, but you still had a productive game for yourself. What can you kind of take from this game? I know it was hard, but what can you take for yourself and try and build on it for next season? Because you did have a nice rookie season, and this was the biggest stage. What can you take from this, really?
I'm as good as I want to be. This team is as good as we want to be. We always, when it comes down to our losses, I feel like we beat ourselves, and the world seeing that. The world, everybody seeing that. We just couldn't do the things to execute. But props to Tampa Bay. They did the things that they needed to do in order to win the game. So for me, the things that I take away from this season, I'm in the lab tomorrow as soon as I possibly can. Anything, whatever I'm doing in Kansas City in 9-degree weather, I'm doing it. This is something that I'm not used to. I don't like losing. This is gonna eat at me. So, I don't make a lot of promises, and I don't say a lot, and I don't do a lot as far as trying to be in the light of the NFL. But 2-5 from Kansas City, Clyde. I promise you, everybody will feel me next year.
Appreciate it. Congrats on a good season, and look forward to seeing you next year.